Jen, and welcome Scottsdale Public Library friends to our virtual Fun with Math and Science program. So I know this is the first week of our 6-week Fun with Math and Science program, but what does it do and how does it work?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Jen. This program focuses on developing your child's mathematical and scientific thinking skills. And here's how it's going to work. We're going to read books and sing songs that have to do with the concept that we're learning about for the week. And then we will provide you with some ideas on how you can play and interact with your child at home to support learning about the concept we're focusing on. Our intent is to provide you with strategies that you can use to support your child's healthy growth and development, especially in the areas of science and math.
That sounds great, Maudie, but you know I love to do this. Can we start with a fun action song?
We can do that. So you're going to need to stand up at home because this is called I Like to Stretch Up High, and you have to move around.
Yes, and make sure you follow along and do the actions that we do. The words will pop up on the screen so that you can see what we're doing ahead of time. And also we're going to do it twice. That way you have a practice run as well.
And for all 6 weeks of the program, we're going to use the same song when we begin our program. So you'll be ready to do it by the end of the 6 weeks with no problem at all.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I like to stretch up high. I like to stretch down low. I like to stretch out wide, and then I touch my toes, and then I touch my nose, and then I touch my elbows. I like to lean like this. I like to lean like that. I like to lean way back and give myself a pat. I like to turn around. I like to jump up and down. But wait, Miss Jen, we have to decide how many times we want to jump.
Can we jump 5 times?
We can jump 5 times. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to say hello to you. Hello. And please do not sit down. Let's do that again.
Yes, that was fun.
I like to stretch up high. I like to stretch down low. I like to stretch out wide, and then I touch my toes, and then I touch my nose, and then I touch my elbows. I like to lean like this. I like to lean like that. I like to lean way back and give myself a pat. I like to turn around. I like to jump up and down. But remember,
Oh yes,
let's ask our friends out there, how many times should we jump?
I think I heard a 3.
Okay, here we go.
right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. I like to say hello to you. Hello, hello. And please, will you sit down?
Ah, that was fun, Maudie. So what's our concept for this week?
So the concept for this week is our 5 senses.
Okay, wait a second. So if this is fun with math and science, why are we studying our 5 senses?
Well, it's because children use their senses to discover the world around them. It's how they explore. So when we are discussing science and math, this is a logical starting point.
Huh, okay, that makes sense. Get it? Senses. Studying senses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
You're funny. But it's time for our first book, and it's all about our senses. And it's called, believe it or not, My 5 Senses. And it's by Aliki. It is published by HarperCollins Publishers, and I'm going to get started. My 5 Senses. Oh, that's a cool chart.
Oh, look at that. Things I see, things I hear, things I taste, things I smell, and things I can touch.
That's awesome.
I like it.
I can see. I see with my eyes. I can hear. I hear with my ears. I can smell. I smell with my nose. I can taste. I taste with my tongue. I can touch. I touch with my fingers. I do all this with my senses. I have 5 senses. When I see the sun or a frog or my baby sister, I use my sense of sight. I am seeing. When I hear a drum or a fire engine or a bird, I use my sense of hearing. I am hearing. When I smell soap or a pine tree or cookies just out of the oven, yum. I use my sense of smell. I am smelling. When I drink my milk and eat my food, I use my sense of taste. I am tasting. When I touch a kitten or a balloon or water, I use my sense of touch. I am touching. Sometimes I use all my senses at once. Sometimes I use only one. I often play a game with myself and I guess how many senses I am using at that time. When I look at the moon and the stars, I use one sense. I am seeing. When I laugh and play with my puppy, I use 4 senses. I see, hear, smell, and touch. When I bounce a ball, I use 3 senses. I see, hear, touch. Sometimes I use more of one sense and less of another, but each sense is very important to me because it makes me aware. To be aware is to see all there is to see, hear all there is to hear, smell all there is to smell, taste all there is to taste, touch all there is to touch. Wherever I go, whatever I do, every minute of the day, my senses are working. They make me aware.
Wow, that was a great book. And it makes me think about our first parent tip, which says that books are a great way to learn about science and math concepts. And there are a variety of books and topics related to science as well as math.
And they can get those books at the library, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So it looks like it's time for us to do our chant for today. And this chant is all about your senses.
That's awesome. And it's an echo chant, which means I get to repeat whatever you say and do. This will be fun.
Yes. Grown-ups and kiddos at home, do you think you can do it with me too? Yeah. You can repeat each line after me.
You can say it with me.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
I have eyes that can see.
I have eyes that can see.
And a nose that can smell.
And a nose that can smell.
I have hands that can touch.
I have hands that can touch.
And they do it very well.
And they do it very well.
I have ears that can hear.
I have ears that can hear.
And a tongue that can taste.
And a tongue that can taste.
These are my 5 senses.
These are my 5 senses.
That I should never waste.
That I should never waste. That was fun and educational.
It was. I think we should try it again, though.
I think so. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Here we go. I have eyes that can see.
I have eyes that can see.
And a nose that can smell.
And a nose that can smell.
I have hands that can touch.
I have hands that can touch.
And they do it very well.
And they do it very well.
I have ears that can hear.
I have ears that can hear.
And a tongue that can taste.
And a tongue that can taste.
These are my 5 senses.
These are my 5 senses.
That I should never waste.
That I should never waste.
They're really good at repeating.
Yes, they are. I hope they had as much fun as we did.
You know what, though? I think it's time for our next parent tip.
I would agree.
All right. A great way to prompt children to both think and respond is to ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are questions that allow children to elaborate and explain their thinking.
So open-ended questions require more than one-word answers, like yes or no?
That's right. As parents, we want to ask questions that start with why or how. This gives your child an opportunity to think and respond with a more elaborate answer. What do you have there? A puzzle?
Yes.
Oh.
An empty puzzle.
So what are you going to do with that puzzle?
Well, I thought I'd try and put the pieces in it.
Oh, okay.
So I picked this one. It looks like an orange. And now I have to find the spot on here where this orange will go. So I think... There.
That's right, Miss Jen. Look, it fit.
Yes.
But how did you know that it would fit there?
Well, this one is like a circle, and it just goes around and around and around, and it doesn't have any weird other edges.
Oh.
So I thought that might work, and that opening went round and around.
It did. Is there another piece you can try?
I'm going to try the banana.
Okay.
And you know what? This reminds me of a smile.
Oh.
Yes. So I don't think it's going to fit. Nope, won't fit there. Ooh, I think I found one.
Did you find? It looks like a smile.
Yep. And there's my banana.
That's right.
Yes.
So you could ask, why did you place that there? Or how did you know that needed to go there? Open-ended questions provide those children with opportunities to explain what they're thinking. So asking open-ended questions can be difficult sometimes. As parents, we just need to practice doing that.
That's wonderful information, but a lot. Those of you at home, remember, you can always pause the video, rewind, replay anything you need to see more of. Ah, the beauty of video.
It's very convenient. But guess what?
Yes.
It's time for our next book. So because this is Fun with Math and Science, our second book today is going to be a counting book.
Yes. And our second book is Bear Counts. It's written by Karma Wilson and illustrated by Jane Chapman. Published by Margaret K. McElderry Books. So, Bear Counts. Mouse and Bear share breakfast, basking in the morning sun. Bear looks up and points, and the bear counts 1. One sun floating high, 1 giant dragonfly, 1 robin in her nest, only 1 berry left. Numbers, numbers everywhere. Can you count along with Bear? 1. Mouse and Bear see Hare, and Hare calls out, "Howdy do?" He is holding yummy fruit, and the bear counts 2. 2 paws which hold a treat, 2 apples, crisp and sweet, 2 stumps for perfect chairs, 2 friends who love to share. Numbers, numbers everywhere. Can you count along with Bear? Count with me. 1, 2. Bear hears funny sounds coming from an aspen tree. It's raven, owl, and wren, and the bear counts 3. 3 chums who chitter chat, 3 funny muskrats, 3 clouds above the trees, 3 bumbling bumblebees. Numbers, numbers everywhere. Can you count along with Bear? 1, 2, 3. Bear cries, "Look! It's Badger, Mole, and Gopher by the shore." Badger has his fishing pole, and the bear counts 4. 4 fish splish and splash, 4 geese waddle past, 4 turtles on a log, 4 croaking, hopping frogs. Numbers, numbers everywhere. Can you count along with Bear? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, great counting, guys. Mouse squeaks, "Let's go swimming." And in the pond they dive. The friends float in the pond, and the bear counts 5. 5 ducks in the water, 5 lively river otters, 5 lovely lily pads, 5 pinching crawdads. Numbers, numbers everywhere. Now you can count just like Bear. Let's count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's lots of cool pictures on there to count too.
That was a great book, Miss Jen. But now it's time to find our science and math superpowers. And the reason I say they're superpowers is because with science and math skills, we are able to do so many things.
Yep.
So, you're going to uncover. Man, did you hear that? Discover. And explore.
I like that.
Things that you can do at home to focus on these concepts.
Yes.
That was so weird.
Yes.
For today, that means we're going to focus on our 5 senses. So, the first sense we're going to focus on is our sense of sight. So, using our eyes.
Nice.
So, we have, of course, some great books.
Yes.
Panda bear, what do you see? You might know that one.
And this is a book that's actually about sight. And there's some great books like this. So don't ever miss out on the nonfiction ones.
Here's another nonfiction one, See? And we have Brown Bear, what do you see? Which you might be even more familiar with. And then, of course, there's the I book. Talks all about the things you see.
They're awesome.
Yes. So you can play a game like I Spy.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
You gonna go?
Yes.
All right.
I spy with my little eye something square.
Square? That's not quite square. Let's see. Miss Janet was behind us.
I know.
Are you talking about the signs?
I am talking about those signs.
You're right. This is a square. 4 sides, 4 corners. She found a square. But you can play I Spy inside, outside, anywhere you like. In the car. Sometimes it's fun to play I Spy with my little eye. A McDonald's sign. Ooh. And then they can find the McDonald's sign. Yeah.
Yes. Or you could say, I spy with my little eye something red.
And find the traffic signs. You know what? I'm glad you brought those up because looking at traffic signs or looking for traffic signs is a great way to use your eyes outside when you're driving.
Yeah.
Or taking a walk even.
And of course, you want to make sure you watch this one for your parents.
Yes.
So they're not going too
That
fast.
speed limit sign. Mhm. So another great thing to look for when you are out and about is the environmental print. And what that is are the signs that kids recognize because they have a logo or something with them that seems familiar. McDonald's is a great example of that. Or they might recognize the Walmart sign.
Mm-hmm. And even just the golden arches are in it.
That's right. And you know what? You can play I Spy in a book too.
Ooh, yes.
Which book should we try?
Oops.
Let's try.
Ooh, here.
Did you find one?
This one's got a good picture.
Oh, look at this picture.
Yes.
All right, so I spy with my little eye something that is brown.
Ooh. I see a few things that are brown. Is it the window frame?
Nope,
What about the stuffed dog on the bed?
it's the dog on the bed. So you can play that game with books as well. All right, next we're going to move on to touch. So when we're talking about touch, usually we talk about our hands, right? So there are a lot of things that you can do with your hands. You can touch the bark on a tree. Whoops, I'm pulling it off. But it's really bumpy. It's really kind of cool.
It's rough.
Yes. Other things you can touch in nature, pine cones, but be careful. Sometimes they have little prickly spots, so you don't want to poke your fingers.
And these are cool.
Tree cookies.
Yes. It's like a slice of a branch.
And are those rough or smooth?
These actually are really smooth.
I think it's because they've been cut.
And also there's no bark on it because even this part here is a little more smooth. It's a little bumpy, but it's smooth.
Is it smoother? Oh, I have a cool thing in this. It's all wrapped up because it's delicate. But you can find these in nature too.
Ooh, a starfish.
How does that starfish feel?
He actually feels really rough. He's got all these bumps on him.
Really?
Yes, and he's hard because he's not alive anymore.
Yeah. So I also have something from nature that you find in the ocean. It's a shell. But you know what's really cool about this shell? Can you see how shiny it is? It's really, really smooth as compared to our bumpy starfish.
Yes.
All right. Some other things that you can do for touch is use your feet. When you're outside with your feet, you could walk in the grass or walk on the pebbles or walk on the sand and feel how it feels on your feet.
And that I bet you'll even feel different than on your hands.
Yes, I think it will because sometimes your feet are a little more sensitive.
Well, and it's not always just rough or smooth. It could be hot
It could be hot, so be careful out there in that hot Arizona sun.
or cold.
Yes, not likely in June.
Cool water.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I like that idea. All right, so you can also use toys at home to talk about how things feel. So I have Snoopy, who is soft, and my fire truck, which is Hard. So you can try those out. Also in every home, you have silverware. And our silverware is primarily smooth, but there's a little spot where it's bumpy and
Yes.
it can poke your fingers.
Yep.
If you touch
Those
that.
feel kind of sharp and pointy.
Yes.
And then you have to be careful on this edge because that's sharp and like jagged.
Good word.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're also cool.
Oh, to the touch. Oh,
Yes.
that's cool. And of course we have, that's cool. Did you like that? And of course we have books. So I Feel a Foot. This is a fun one about touch.
This one's really cool because it says, how do you feel? And you're going to think it's all about if they're sad or happy or whatever. But as they go through the story, I feel bumpy like the trunk of a gnarly tree. So that's the toad. He feels bumpy. So yeah, it's really cool because it talks about how different creatures feel to the touch.
That's very cool. And don't forget those nonfiction books like the one on Seeing. One thing I want to mention too, because I forgot about it for nature. You know what I love to do? I love to jump in puddles. It's so much fun. Moms and dads, let them jump in puddles at least once. Because it's so much fun.
And you know what? If it rains during the monsoon here, it'll still be warm outside.
That's true.
You
All
don't have to
right.
worry about that.
So we're going to move on now to our sense of smell. For our sense of smell, we have a lot of cool items. So one thing we have is, you know, I bought these Kool-Aid packs, the envelopes with the unsweetened Kool-Aid. And what's really cool with these is that you can actually make Kool-Aid Play-Doh. And what's really cool about Kool-Aid Play-Doh is it's a multi-sensory experience. We're focusing on smell right now, but it's also great for touch, and you can see the different colors, so we're using multiple senses. But with the Play-Doh recipe, all you need is, right here on the screen, a cup of flour, a half cup of salt, 1 envelope of Kool-Aid unsweetened, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 1 cup of water, and 1 tablespoon of oil. And then you're going to mix those things together in a saucepan. You're going to stir in your water and you're going to bring it to like a boil. You're going to warm it up. Don't warm it up too fast. And you're going to stir it until it pulls away from the sides. And once it keeps pulling away from the sides, you can go ahead and put it on a plate and it'll let it cool a little bit, and then you can play with it. And you have to remember to store it in an air-sealed package. Airtight package? Yeah, a Ziploc or a Tupperware in order to make sure it doesn't dry out.
Smells good too.
Smells good. So we made 3. We made grape, which made purple.
Black cherry.
Black cherry, which made
red.
red.
And I believe it's blue raspberry,
Blue raspberry.
which is kind of a bluish greenish color.
And what does it smell like?
It smells like a blue raspberry.
It smells like blue raspberry? It's blue raspberry lemonade. So I bet there's some lemonade scent there too.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
All right.
There is.
So other things you can do inside the house are explore cooking smells. Like when you're baking cookies, or maybe an apple pie is in the oven.
Ooh, bread.
Oh,
like
bread
garlic
smells
toast.
so good. Oh, yum. All those things. You know, inside the house too, you might have these fun candles. I see a theme. This one's called warm apple pie. I must like that scent.
Ooh, but this one is the one I love because it makes me think of outside. It smells like pine trees.
Oh, you know what else is fun about outside? You could almost take a smelling walk outside and you could smell the flowers and the trees and the campfires and roasting marshmallow. Oh, we're not talking about roasting marshmallows, are we?
No, but you know what smells really, really good? One of my favorites
What?
is right after it rains.
Oh, the
It always
smell of
smells
rain.
so good.
Yes, that's a good smell. And then, of course, there's some books on smell.
We have Our Senses, again, one of those nonfiction books, but they are lots of fun and they tell you lots of things.
And then Sniff Sniff, a book about smell. So you can get those at your library.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to your sense of hearing. So we're going to talk about sound or using our ears. So the first thing I want to suggest is taking a listening walk. Because when you're outside, you can listen for birds. Did you hear those? The wind. The bees buzzing.
Oh, I love bees.
Footsteps. And airplanes. And I bet there's other things you could find out that you can listen for outside in nature.
Oh, yeah.
Inside, you can take a listening walk and listen for music playing, or pots and pans, or dishes being, moved around in the kitchen, people talking. You know what else you can hear inside that we can hear outside? Footsteps, because people are walking in those places.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some fun stuff here. Miss Jen, you brought some pots and pans with you.
Yep.
Because, ask Mom and Dad before you do this, but pots and pans make great drums.
Yes.
And you can use spatulas and wooden spoons, and you can then that was really loud. Mine's not as loud as hers.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, it has a different color.
Yeah. So you can explore how loud or noisy the pots and pans can be at home. But you can also, instead of just loud, you can use quiet. Quiet takes more control. You have to not hit it so hard.
Yep, that's true.
So you can explore quiet and loud sounds using pots and pans. But part of the fun of the sound and listening for sounds is instruments, because instruments are a lot of fun. So we're going to talk about making some homemade instruments. For example, we're going to make a shaker egg like this one. And for my shaker egg, I'm going to put some beans, which I just have in a bowl. Just a few.
My shaker egg, I'm going to put things like, everybody has some of these around the house. Extra little screws, nuts, bolts, things like that in mine.
Oh. So I'm going to put those in. I'm going to close my egg. And I'm going to make sure it stays closed because I'm going to get some duct tape. I'm going to pull it in half. Here you go. You can have half. Thank you. Oh, sorry I didn't cut that very well. You're going to tape the seam shut on your egg.
You just go right around the middle of it like that.
Push the ends down so it stays, and then you have a shaker egg. Let's compare.
They sound different.
They do. Yours is a little louder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one sounds a lot like the one Miss Jen just made. I bet they have the same things.
And you can experiment using different things in your shaker eggs and see how they sound different.
I wonder what it would sound like if we put cotton balls in there.
Would it sound at all?
Probably not. All right. Some other things you might have at home are plastic cups. Well, with plastic cups, you can also make a shaker.
Yeah, that one's really loud. I don't remember what you had in that one.
So I think for this one, we used more beans. So with your cup, let's put some beans in there. Go ahead, Miss Jen.
We can put more beans in this one. This is going to take 2 of us, though.
It is, because we're going to tape this again. So duct tape is your friend when it comes to making homemade instruments.
Yes.
And we're going to go around and around. And I hope I cut my tape long enough. It doesn't quite fit, but it'll work for our demo here.
And you can always add an extra piece if you need to.
And we taped it shut. And now we each have our own shaker.
Those are really loud.
They're
really louder
loud.
than the eggs.
You know what's cool too? Ooh, you can use paper plates and you can make tambourines.
And you want to just make sure that when you take the paper plates that you have them with the kind of like a bowl type thing and put a couple of things in it. You don't need a whole lot. And then you take another one and flip it upside down so that they have space to move.
Can you see that? See how it,
See? It looks kind of like a spaceship.
all right, and then you'll just take your stapler and you'll staple around to seal it.
Oh, yeah. And you gotta use a fair amount of staples pretty close together so nothing can sneak out the edges.
You can probably see it on this one. Can you see all the staples around the edge so that none of the beans can escape?
And not only can you shake it, but it's like a tambourine.
Yes. You forgot yours wasn't sealed. Uh-oh, Miss Jen's making a mess over here.
Yep.
All right, and we can't forget, we have books about sound. So we have the ear book. We have Polar Bear, What Do You Hear? Our nonfiction titles, a book about hearing. And one of my personal favorites, I Hear a Pickle. How do pickles talk?
A pickle.
Do they talk?
Not that I know of, unless.
Do they rattle?
No. Nope.
Oh, you know what they do? They crunch.
Oh, yes.
So it's called I Hear a Pickle and Smell, See, Touch, and Taste It too. So this is a fun one to read.
I like
And
it.
now we're going to talk about our sense of taste. You know what's really cool about this virtual program is that we can talk about the sense of taste and you can actually do these things at home. If you were coming to the library to do it, we would actually skip this sense because we are not going to bring food items in. So this is really beneficial that everyone's at home.
Yes. Well, and also, if you're going to have friends do this with you, make sure you pay attention to any possible food allergies because we wouldn't want anybody to get hurt or get sick because of our program.
Yes, that's true. So first we have our books, of course. We have a nonfiction one, Yum, a book about taste. And we have a couple more books about our senses because there's lots of books that talk about our senses.
This one is I'm Exploring with My Senses, and it'll have, since it has all 5, it'll have a little bit about taste in here too.
That's right. Okay. What's really fun about taste is that you can do a game or a taste sort and you can chart or graph it or like we did, just make a sweet, salty, and sour piece of paper and then print out some pictures to go with what you're tasting. And then they can decide after they've tasted it where this goes. So should we try it?
Sure. All right. Which one do you want to try? Do you want?
Let's see. I want to try popcorn.
Okay.
I'm going to try a piece of this popcorn.
And isn't that different kind of popcorn?
You know what's really kind of funny? It tastes sweet and then salty.
What kind of popcorn did you get?
Kettle corn.
So where are you going to put that one? Are you going to put it on sweet? Or are you going to put it under salty? Which one did you taste more of?
I tasted more salt, so I think we better put it under salty.
Salty?
Salty.
Okay. Our popcorn's going to pop at salty.
Yes. Which one would you like to taste, Miss Jen?
All right, I'm going to be brave. I'm
Okay.
going for the lemon.
Lemon it is.
And there's a little wedge right here. So,
All right.
okay, yep, that one. That one's definitely sour. It doesn't start that way, but it gets that way. Wow, that is really sour. Okay, so I think I know where that one goes.
You want it over here in sour?
Yes, yeah.
We're going to put that picture on sour. Whew, I'm glad I didn't taste the lemon. I don't like sour stuff. What should I taste? I know what I'm going to taste. Ha! We have a chocolate bar.
Okay, can I taste that one too?
I can share.
Because I love chocolate.
All right, we're going to break off a piece of chocolate. One for you.
Thank you.
One for me. You'll notice mine's bigger.
I know where this one's going to go.
Where's this one going to go?
Definitely goes on sweet.
It's really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
There's our chocolate on sweet.
Sweet and sugary.
Okay, so we have an apple, an orange, some pretzels, and some pickles.
All right, fine. I'll go for the pickle.
Okay.
I gotta kill some of the sweet. All right, let's see what this one does. pickle. I think it's dill.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Sour.
back. We're back in stock.
Is it as sour as the lemon?
It is, but in a different way.
Is it also salty?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's definitely salt in this too.
So would you go with sour or salty?
It's more sour than salty.
Okay,
It's
so we're gonna put
definitely-
that in sour.
Definitely gives you a pucker.
Yeah.
A true pucker.
Maybe you can follow it by orange. Because pickles and orange taste really good together. So that's one of those things that you can do with taste. You can also do a blind taste test where you cover your eyes, and that way you have to use your nose too to smell what's going on, and it really kind of enhances how things taste.
Those were a lot of really good ideas for everybody to do at home.
Yes. And each of those activities are going to help you find your science and math superpowers. And I'm sure there are other things that you can uncover.
Uncover! It did it before.
Discover,
Discover!
and explore
Explore!
at home. She's a nut. All right.
Yes, definitely. And I believe it's, unfortunately, time for our goodbye song.
That's right. And we're going to sing the same goodbye song for all 6 weeks. So by the end, you'll already know it. But for now, we'll put the words up on the screen for you. Science, science, and some math. Science, science, and some math. Science, science, and some math. That's what we explored today. We had some fun, but now we're done. We had some fun, but now we're done. We had some fun, but now we're done. Science and math explore all day. So, thanks for joining us. Be sure to explore the world around you using your senses throughout the week.
And don't forget to join us next week when we'll be talking about counting and comparing. We hope to see you then.
Bye.
Bye!